Hello and welcome to Affinity Workshop. My name is Dan, and today we're going over the basics of layers and the Studio Layers panel. So the first thing I need to do is make sure my Studio Layers panel is open, and it's not, so I'm going to go to the main menu and under View, Studio, and then I'll just go down to the Layers panel and select it, and it shows up here. So in the Layers panel, we control the stacking order of all the documents. Now, anything you open in Affinity Photo will open as a layer, and you can also create new layers. So what is a layer really for? Back in the days when everybody used to actually cut and paste things, you'd have to make copies and cut something out and then paste it on top of something else. So let's actually do that. I'm going to drag and drop a simple drawing into the canvas here. And as you can see, that shows up as our first layer. Now, if I wanted to copy this, what I could do is go up to the main menu and under Layer, just select Duplicate. And so you can see our second layer has showed up. Now in the Layers panel, everything has an icon of what the layer looks like. Then it has a name, and if you want to change that name, you just double-click it. And I'm going to write copy and hit enter. And then to the right of the name, it shows what kind of layer this is. This is a pixel layer. And to go a little further to the right of that, you see that little check mark there? That just says that the layer is visible. Now I can uncheck this layer, and we still see the same exact thing because we have this layer underneath, which is a copy. And if I uncheck that, for example, this is a transparent background, and you know that by looking at the little checkerboard. When there's a little checkerboard that shows up, it's a transparent background. So I'm going to make everything visible again, back to our project. And so what I want to do actually now is cut this person out, and what I can use here is the freehand selection tool. I'm going to select that, and just like a scissors, very loosely, I'm going to go around and cut this out. Now in computer terms, we actually have to select and then go to Edit, Cut. And as you look at the layer here, you can actually see the hole here. So what are we going to do with that piece that we've just cut out? Then we have to go to Edit, Paste. And he's going to show up as a new layer. There we go. Okay, so now I don't need this copy anymore because essentially it's just a piece of paper with a hole in it. And if you want to see what that looks like in computer terms, then let's turn off this layer, turn off the visibility in that layer, and we'll turn off the visibility in the original. And there you can see we have a piece of paper with a hole in it. So we don't need that anymore. So I'm actually going to just hit the delete key. Or another thing you can do is see the little garbage can down here. When that layer is selected and you hit that, it will delete it for you. So let's make these layers visible again. Now, this is actually a second person on top of the first layer, but it's actually in the same exact spot. So what we need to do is go over to the Move tool and select that. And since this layer is selected, it automatically selects the person we have copied. Now I'm just going to drag him over, and voila, now we have two. We can also create a new layer at any time. This says Add Pixel Layer. If I click on that, now I have a blank pixel layer on top of this. And I can draw on that if I like. So I don't really need it, so I'm going to delete it. And the other thing we could do is group our layers. So if I hold Shift and select both of these layers, then I can go to the Group function and press that. And now it groups these together, which they really should be because I wanted them on one document. And sometimes that's really good because if you have 10 or 12 things you want to group together, you don't want them taking all the space up in your layers panel. So you can just group them And if you want, you can give that group a name. And there you have it. So that's the very basics about layers and the Studio Layers panel. See you soon.